Hey, Tsunami, look, I got a story for you, right? So, I was on a dating app. I was in Georgia, trying to find somebody to link up with, just, normal stuff. Trying to find a date, trying to find a girlfriend, little stuff like that, right? Ran into a young lady. She was cute, of course. We texted on the app, got to talking, got to socializing, exchanged numbers. We went on a small little date. I can't really remember what the first date was, but we went on a date. Um, After that date, everything was smooth. I tried to relink with her, but her schedule was kind of crazy at the time. She was in the military. I'm prior service, so I understood it. I wasn't really trying to stress it, and things kind of just became arguments. Me trying to get with her, her being mad that I'm rushing. I'm just trying to, we had a good time, so I'm just trying to catch up with Shorty, right? So it kind of died off. At the time, I was installing cable. Um, and as I'm installing cable, COVID was coming. In Georgia, Georgia was one of the places that kind of shut down, right? So they were like, we're kind of shutting down the market over here. We have other states if you want to, join them and continue working with the job, or you might have to, employ elsewhere until we pick up the pause. So I'm like, oh man. So, I went ahead and chose to go back to Florida. I go back to Florida. Florida's cool. I was born there, so I'm familiar with it, with Florida, the state. Not, I was in Jacksonville, so I moved to Jacksonville, right? Back on the app. Trying to find me something. What I'm talking about. Trying to find me something on the app. I'm back on the app, and sure enough, I've run into her, and she lives in Jacksonville. What are the odds? What are the odds? Um, so I went ahead. We started talking. Of course, we changed numbers, but it's a little quicker. We exchanged numbers. It's a lot faster, right? As we exchange numbers, um, everything is cool. Asked to go out. We go out. Now, during this time, this is a little bit before holiday season. I believe we started talking. We met before Thanksgiving or something like that. And then Thanksgiving happened. I did my own thing. I was, in Florida, so I just went and made me a little small little, Thanksgiving meal or whatnot, right? We didn't make any plans together. We weren't about to see each other. And then Christmas was coming around, right? So as I'm talking to her, she's on her way to about to be deployed, so she says. But COVID has a pause on it, so she doesn't know her dates. That sounds reasonable. I'm not disagreeing with that. She was staying with a friend. But as she was telling me the story, she's like, her and this friend, and it's a male friend, he has his relationship with somebody else, so it's nothing between them. She's a roommate, and he's also in the military. She's like, things just ain't working out. It's getting kind of crowded. So I'm like, okay, I understand. I said, you know what? Why don't you just come stay with me? It's the holidays. You don't have to worry about, running to their family or anything like that. And you can stay with me. And then, after the holidays, we'll figure it out. So I go and pick her up. So I go and pick her up from the place, right? She comes out with 2 bags, pulling, 2 rollers or whatnot. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, bags, she's a woman, things she needs. Then she comes out with a tote box. Then she comes out with another bag. Then she comes out with a computer bag. A couple, grocery bags and stuff. I'm like, what is she doing? Now, I am just now coming to Florida. My stuff is all in Georgia in a storage unit. The plan was to come to Florida, get my money right, and then drive back to Georgia, put it all in U-Haul, and then bring it down. Furniture and everything like whatnot. When she came over, all I had was a futon. It was a. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you what I stayed in. It was an apartment, but it was like what do you call, like a loft. So, but the loft upstairs, instead of seeing over, it had a wall. So you couldn't see over, but it was built like a loft. So you go upstairs, and upstairs is the bedroom. So all I had was a futon upstairs, and then downstairs I think I brought one of the couches, because I did drive like one of those little van things, and put as much stuff as I could. So I had a little love seat downstairs, and I had my futon upstairs, along with other stuff and everything. So she comes, we bring all her stuff in, bring it all upstairs. Everything is cool. Now this is like the week before Christmas. She had said that before we really have unprotected sex, I gotta get tested. I was like, shit, that ain't no thing. I could get tested right now. Let's do it. And sure enough, she was like, okay, cool. So we found a free clinic. We both went and got tested. And while we at the clinic, she came out first. She knew her results, and then I had to go get my results. And as I come out, I knew I was gonna pass. So I come out and I grab her. I was like, oh, straight to the bed. I didn't notice that other people were in the lobby. So other people, it is what it is. So we leave. We leave. We go back. We spend the night, whatnot. So we wake up, and this is Christmas Eve morning, right? Christmas Eve morning. Everything is cool, but I'm like, I don't have anything to really cook for Christmas dinner. So let me go ahead and go to these stores before they close. She hops in the car and we go, right? We first go to Walmart, but we go to the Walmart right next to my house. We get there, and as we're in the parking lot, we're driving up. And as you're driving up, Walmart has, little stop signs and stuff like that before you make left turns in the parking lot. There's a guy that's in front of us that's just parked there, and he's just sitting there. So I give him a little honk, he doesn't move. I give him another honk, he flags me to go around. I'm like, I ain't about to go around, just go move. Now, I could have went around, but who cares? So I see loss prevention, security at Walmart. And I'm like, hey man, tell him to move. He was standing at Walmart in the parking lot, and his response was, I'm Walmart security, I'm not parking lot security. And so I had got mad. I just went around him, and I parked the car. I told her, all right, let's get up, let's go ahead and go in there. She was like, I can't go in there. I'm like, why can't you go in there? She's like, oh, I'm embarrassed. You embarrassed me. I can't go in the store. You out there acting a fool in the parking lot. And so in my head, all I'm thinking is, I gotta get food. Like, I don't have nothing. Like, I need something. It's Christmas dinner. You want something that's not normal, right? So I was like, okay, cool. I calmed down. I was like, okay, cool. Let's just go to another store. So we go to another Walmart. The other Walmart's whatever distance away. I don't know what it was. We're driving there. We get there. As we get into the parking lot, for some reason she starts saying, you're not tough. You give off this tough persona like you're all this. But when that guy was in the parking lot, you didn't do nothing. And I'm, after we parked, I'm sitting there like, I was in the car. Like, what do you want me to do? Go over there and hit him? You just not, I thought you were somebody tougher. So now she done blew my mind. I don't even want to go in the store. I don't want to feed her. If I get food, that means I got to feed her. So I'm like, I don't want no food. So I'm like, we going back to the house. We get in the car. We start driving back to the house, right? I'm playing music, and we haven't spoke. I have my cell phone, and I have like a old cell phone that I'm playing music on. It's just got all my music stored on it. Old pictures, videos, whatever it is. It's an old cell phone, right? The cell phone is about to die. My cell phone, the second one for music. And I see her using my charger in her phone. Now, I see that, and I just take the charger out of her phone. Bow. I plug it in my phone, the second phone. Put it down. She unplugs the phone, throws it out the window. I'm driving. Now, keep in mind, I'm driving. I look at her. She throws it out, and I just look at the road. And I'm silent all the way home. I didn't stop to get the phone. It's traffic. It's an old phone. It got ran over. I'm in a zone. Like, I just froze. I'm in a zone. So I just go start driving home. Don't even speak. About 2 lights away, she doesn't know how far we are, right? 2 lights away, she was like, talk to me, talk to me. I'm not saying nothing. You got to say something. You can't just sit there. I don't say nothing. She says, she pulls out her phone and then she starts recording me. I know she's recording me because the flash comes on. And she's like, he won't pull over. He won't talk to me. I don't know what he's about to do to me. And so, I know she's in the military. And, I'm like, so I pull over the car at like a light, but it was like a little gravel pit. I pull over in there. I says, okay, get out. If that's what you wanted, go ahead. We stop, we get out. She starts reaching for my pants. And the assumption was like she was trying to give me, trying to pleasure me because she felt bad. I was like, no. I'm going home. We just 2 lights away. So we get to the house and everything's cool. While we're at the house, I go upstairs and I'm just mad. I'm just not talking to her. I'm just keeping to myself. I only got a futon up there and everything. I'm just standing up because ain't nowhere else to go. You feel me? Ain't nowhere else to go to the house. It's just a futon. So I'm standing up. She comes upstairs. She's like, talk to me. And then she kind of pins me in a corner and I'm like, nah, I'm cool. So I try to walk away and she pulls my jacket. I lose my balance. I fall on the futon. Futon's broke. Bow. All you hear is little things break. Stuff break. I get up. I'm crying. Like, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing in this world but his futon and his love seat. I start crying and everything. Boy, I'm like, because it was just like tears of, what do I do next? As I'm going downstairs, she tries to grab me and I push her away. And I go downstairs, right? All I start doing is grabbing all her stuff. Just start throwing it out the door. Tossing that stuff. Pow, pow, pow. I threw her laptop and you can see it skipping across the street. I felt a little bad for that. So I skip it across the street and everything like that. Next thing you know, she grabs me from behind, grabs my hair, pulling me down and everything like that, keeping me tight and pulling me. She got me all close, tugging me all tight and whatnot. And I'm sitting there like, I'm trying to get her off of me. I'm trying to push her and pin her, but I'm conscious of what's going on. Like, I know not to hit her. Like, I'm conscious of that. So she finally gets off of me and she gets on the phone. She starts calling the friend that I told you about earlier. She starts calling the friend. Come get me. He threw all my stuff and he's hitting on me and this and this and this and I'm not. She's outside my door, so I'm not saying anything. I'm staying in my house, but I'm thinking about like I ain't put my hands on you. Just so finally, I'm looking for my cell phone. I can't find my cell phone. I'm like, ain't nothing in this place. You feel me? Ain't nothing in this place. So the cell phone can't be far. I look in the love seat, can't find it. Looking around, go upstairs, can't find it. She's outside gathering her stuff. I come downstairs only to see her throwing what little I had out the door. Just throwing whatever I had out the door. Now I had this box full of, rolling table. I'm sorry. What's it called? A rolling plate, some other stuff in this little cigar box. She threw the cigar box and skipped across the thing and everything like that. So I'm out here gathering my stuff up and I still can't find my cell phone. So I go to my neighbor's house, which is right next door because we live in townhouses. I start hitting his Ring cam and he's not home, but he sees me on the camera. I'm like, hey man, call the cops, man. Call the cops, send the cops. I don't know what's going on with this girl. I can't get her to leave. She's doing stuff in my place. So the first person that pulls up is the friend. Now, the friend pulls up, and I can't remember what he had in his hand, but it was something he had. It wasn't a weapon or anything, but it was just like, I don't know what it was. Only to find out that he's military police. And I didn't know he was military police. Then the police come up. Now, I've never left my dorm frame. I never stepped outside, right? The police pull up. The first car is only one cop car at the time. It's a female cop. She's like, what's going on? Now, she already sees him talking to her, so she just comes to me because I'm in the doorway. So I'm explaining her the story, same thing I told you, what's going on, blase, blase. And then then there's a second car that pulls up, right? And this is a man. The second cop car pulls out. He jumps out the car and he just runs. I'm sorry. Let me not be too aggressive with it. He moves very quickly straight to me. The female cop is talking to her. He moves very quickly to me, as if I did something very wrong. I mean, like, I'm gonna say like I hit her. That's the way his approach was. And then when I stepped back in my doorway a little bit further, he stopped at the doorway. And so I kind of understood, I guess he can't, I know he can't just grab me out of here. I didn't do anything wrong. And then, for you to come up in here, you're going to need a reason, right? I don't know at the time, I don't know all the judicial stuff and, I don't know all that lingo. So I stopped him. I'm like, what's going on, man? What's going on? He says, it was domestic violence. I was like, I didn't hit nobody. And so finally, the female cops comes and talks to him and tells him what's going on. And then, because I'm still back in my doorway, he walks in. I'm sorry, let me stop. He goes to talk to her as the cop is just standing there, just standing with me. He comes back, and then he just starts walking in. I'm like, wait, what you doing? What you doing? You can't come up in here. He said, man, you've been watching too much TV. I said, no, what you doing? You can't just walk up in my place. And when he walked in, she took like 2 steps. The other cop took 2 steps in. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And after I said, he said, you watch too much TV. I was like, you can't just come up in here. That's when he actually came out. Now, the reason for him coming in, she said there was drugs in the house. Trying to get me caught up or whatever. I mean, there was. But it was just weed. But anyway. So, as I'm standing there, I guess the female cop saw something in my head. And she was like, what's wrong with your head? I was like, I don't know. And so as I'm moving around, I actually got hair coming out. Like I had my hair braided up in plaits. And I'm like, oh. And it's just hair coming out. I'm like, dang. And then she says, is that your phone over there? Because I told the cops I can't find my phone. And my phone was like in a corner somewhere. And I picked it up and it was off. That girl had my phone somewhere, threw it in the house. Before that, she turned it off. So now I finally found my phone. I finally have my phone. I'm like, all right, cool. Everything's cool. I got everything I need. You can take her. Go ahead. I'm not pressing charges or anything. Just go with the friend. Before she left, she said, hey, I need to get my stuff out of his car. The cop's like, what stuff? She said, I got my stuff in there. And the cop's like, hey, open her car so she can get her stuff. I said, what stuff she talking about? She said, the stuff you bought me at the beauty store. I looked at the cop, I said, the stuff I bought. I locked my car, like I made sure I hit it again, like, no. The cop was like, the female cop, she was like, oh, if he bought it, that's his. But it's hot. What was it? It was eyeliner, some type of stuff for your lace, whatever the edges is and stuff like that. And then something else. Nope. Oh, fingernails, little fake fingernails. It was a nice little kit. Nope, didn't get none of that. So I gave that to my sister for Christmas. I mailed it to her. But I mailed it to my sister like, hey, Merry Christmas. But what did I learn from that? What did I learn from that? If I learned anything from that, love is blind, but charges hurt, and you don't want them. Think about it. If I would have put my hands on her, I would have went in before Christmas. And probably, I know I won't see a judge until after New Year. After Christmas break. Man, I ain't about to sit in there for no, what is that? I don't know, almost 2 weeks? Nope. Don't put your hands on her. That's that, hey.